Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, live from the virtual hills of Kent in the United Kingdom, we are here at the Brands Hatch GP circuit for round 10 of the Scorpio Superformula Series. I am Scorpio Blade, once again joined by Felix in the booth once again. Say hello.
Hello everyone, good evening. Or good day, wherever you are.
Yep. Should be a fairly exciting race for everyone here today. 76 laps ahead of us here at this very short circuit, but still extremely challenging for these drivers. Tons of elevation change, a large mix of high and low speed corners, and not very many overtaking opportunities. So it'll be all up to the drivers to keep it on the track, avoid getting damage like Ivan just has. Should be very exciting indeed. We've had a few drivers out and about today, so we have a few new names joining us. They're substituting in. So we still do have 13 drivers out on track as Ryan nearly runs into the back of Ivan coming out of the pit lane. Already 4 minutes into our 10 or 15 minute qualifying. I can't say I remember. Regardless, 10. It is a 10-minute qualifying. Thank you. It was a very exciting race last time out, an absolute barnstormer between Super S2K, our championship leader, and Adaptive, or Larson. Newcomer to the series, making his second start last time out, has shown incredible pace to be said, and just it's an absolute miracle he hasn't won a race yet, just by off the pace he has shown already. Driver who is very much dedicated to running Super Formula, basically doesn't run anything else in GT7, but we'll see if he's able to capture that elusive win this time out. As we continue through this qualifying session, now approaching the halfway mark, Sanchez has actually jumped himself up into third place. A great qualifying from him if he can keep it there. Gramenos currently P4, so once again showing his single lap pace. Supa has got himself in P5, looking to carry on from what was nearly a podium for him last time out at the Red Bull Ring. Ryan currently down in 6th, though I would imagine that's because he's not had a representative time just yet, being 1.5 seconds off the current pole position time. Roach currently P7. Rybird, one of our new drivers, in P8. Good showing from him. Michael is P9. He's got a bit of a penalty to serve here on this lap. Method, another one of our new drivers, in 10th. And you have Quackadilly in 11th. If I can get down to it. I'm messing with all the buttons here. Quackadilly 11th, going off track and not quite able to save it. And then that was Mike Grove Street, just narrowly avoiding the spinning Quackadilly in 13th, rounding out our grid so far. 6 minutes through our qualifying session now. Let's talk a little bit about this track here. Extremely challenging circuit, very narrow, not many places to overtake. But a bunch of these drivers will be very familiar with it, as we had, of course, our virtual Scorpio test session here just a little over a month ago now.
Yeah, we just see Super S2K entering a fast lap, currently 3.5 tenths of the pace, but purple sector for him. First sector, let's monitor this 2 tenths down or up on Adaptive Inc. In the second one, Adaptive Inc. is just behind him, so we'll monitor
another
this.
purple sector for him as he climbed up through, I believe that was turn 6. Oh, but he's off the track, hard contact. Just tried carrying too much momentum. That's something that these drivers are going to have to look out for. Of course, very narrow track. There's zero runoff either side of this track. It's a very old school circuit. You know, they're very narrow, but still quite rather tall curbs, it must be said. We'll have to keep an eye out for how many of these drivers have a few offs, and there's not a lot of room between the circuit, the grass, and the wall.
Yeah, Larson going very wide in turn 1.
I believe I also noticed he went for a bit of a spin on his outlap as well, come through this corner here, turn 3.
Yeah. He improved slightly in the first sector, but lost it all in the second. We saw that Super S2K has about 2-3 tenths in the first couple of sectors, so this is definitely not enough for Larson to stay on the pole position, of course, if Super S2K connects.
It'll be very interesting indeed to both watch not just track limits, obviously, especially as was the case last time out at the Red Bull Ring, where, of course, there is a lot more runoff for these drivers to use. But, you know, you can get away with maybe dropping 1 or 2 tires off into the grass, but you got to be very careful to not keep it there, because dirty tires will cost you your lap very easily, as Larson goes very wide again in turn 1, all 4 tires off into the gravel. So I would imagine he's going to abort this lap here. Yeah, 2.5 down. Super S2K, I believe he's on a lap at the moment, and is 6 thousandths of a second up and purple on this current lap. Able to keep it on track this time as he makes his way through the forest section. Into the penultimate corner now. Going to get maybe a little bit of a slipstream from Ivan, who's a little bit up the road. Makes his way through the final corner now. What's this lap time going to be? And crosses the line. No, he lost a lot of time in that final sector. So it is still Larson on pole for now at a 101.698. Incredibly fast lap time, especially since most of our guys seem to be running in the 102s. Super S2K, another purple first sector as time expires. This will be everyone's final laps here. We'll ride on board with him for now as he makes his way up again to turn 6, a very challenging, nearly flat-out right-hander, maybe just a bit of a dab of brake, a minor lift, and then it's just a bunch of small lifting kinks through this very fast, high-speed section. This car able to carry so much momentum, but no, he's going to go for a spin in the penultimate corner, and that will do it for his qualifying attempt. Is Larson going to be able to improve? But he obviously doesn't need to anymore. But he will round his way through the final corner. Comes up to the line, and it is a 101.8. So no lap time improvement, but it is still pole position for the driver making his 3rd start of the season. Probably lost a little too much time, or excuse me, obviously having missed the first 6 rounds of the championship, likely not going to be in the hunt for the title, but still very impressive to see such astonishing pace, it must be said. 4 tenths clear of the field on a lap that is only about a minute long. So a very impressive result. Not many places to make up that time as well.
Yeah, what to say about Supa? P5 for him, in front of Graminos and Scorpio even. That's a good result for him there.
Absolutely. And could this be the day where we see Ryan unable to finish on the podium off of pace? Obviously, he missed out on the podium once before in this championship, though that was because of, I believe, time penalties and damage early on in the race, which cost him. So it will be very interesting to see if he's able to make a comeback in race pace. As you can see, your starting grid over on the right-hand side of your screen back at home, folks. Adaptive Larson on pole position, well clear of the field. AMS Super S2K, a 102.056, his fastest lap. Sanchez, great qualifying for him, P3. Got himself at a 102.1. Ryan qualified in 4th at a 102.3, so that should be a very interesting battle for the final step on the podium. Of course, you mentioned Supa lines up P5 at a 102.7. Gramnos P6, a good result for him at a 102.8. Ivan found himself up into 7th at a first driver into the 103s. Michael actually not far behind at a 103.093. Only about 0.05 of a second off Ivan. That should be an interesting battle. Rybird first start in the main Superformula series. Of course, he's made multiple starts in Superformula Lights. He qualified at a 103.8. Great result for him, first time out. Quackadelli finds himself lining up 10th at a 104.280. Method, good result for his first start, 104.6. And then Mike lines up 12th at a 106.992. He was the last of our qualifiers. Roach, unfortunately, was unable to set a lap time due to some sort of lobby error, and it looks like we're going to have a quick reset just to try to minimize any potential issues.
Correct. The start is going to be delayed for a couple of minutes.
So, give us just a few moments, folks. We're going to have a brief intermission just while we get a few technical gremlins sorted out. And then we will be back in just a few moments for a 76-lap feature event. As always, a soft and medium tire required to use. Of course, our drivers have the hard compound tire available to them, but they have to run both of the softer two compounds at some point during the race in order to satisfy the requirement, unless there is rain in the forecast. Though, judging by the blue skies out on track currently, I wouldn't imagine we'll be seeing rain just today. Fitting given the heat wave the United Kingdom's been in for the past little while.
Well, after the reset, we see that the weather is not the same as it was
a
couple of moments ago.
but so ignore everything I just said. There's a slightly better chance at rain here now that we've got a bit of a hazy day in front of us here. So hopefully all of our drivers will be able to load into the session proper now. And hopefully we'll be going in just a couple minutes' time. All right. I suppose while we wait, we can give a brief update on the championship. Obviously, working our way through our second of our triple header races here. Of course, we had Red Bull Ring last time out, and next week we will be heading a little further north in the UK over to Goodwood. Should be a very interesting race there as well. Another very narrow circuit, but much wider in terms of the placement of the walls around the circuit, so hopefully should be a little bit easier for our drivers to contend with, but
it'll be nice to see how they will cope with the possible spins on the grass.
Of course, and then of course that final chicane especially could be a real nightmare for our drivers.
Yeah.
Alright, so if I can find the standings tab in the Scorpio Discord. Where is it? Standings, there we are. Okay. So, your update on the championship standings, it is still your same top three. AMS Super S2K having now won the last 5 out of 6 races so far this season, has a rather handsome lead. Worst result that recorded with the drop rounds taken into account is second. So with the drop rounds added in, that he's currently listed with an average finish of, if I can get this calculator going. So so Super S2K with the drop rounds calculated in, currently with an average finishing position of 1.16 repeating. Incredible consistency, which has now netted him an almost 20-point lead in the championship. Nico currently still sat in second place in the standings, although it doesn't look like he's here today. Second place in the championship, out for the week, which is unfortunate. So that'll be yet another drop round taken away from him, really, after his DNF last time out, which means he'll have a 6th place to his name. And we're going to get ready for the race now as drivers load into the session and await the lights to come on. Round 10 here of the Scorpio Superformula Series. 5 lights come on. And we are underway, and it looks to be a good start for the front 2 drivers. Larson already clear into first. Sanchez fighting Ryan on the inside. Ryan looking to carry momentum around the outside at turn 1, and might get a little bit of contact from Sanchez, who's now fighting Supa for 4th. A little bit of argy-bargy further back. That was Gramenos and Michael getting into it, coming out of the Druid's hairpin. As Rybird now looking up the inside of Michael, who's going to cover him off, coming down into turn 4. Everyone now making their way down this back straightaway here. Larson already with a 6/10 advantage over Super S2K as they make their way into the top half of the circuit. Got to be careful of that gravel trap as they make their way around. Continuing on this first lap. Again, if drivers pick up any damage here, as Super S2K goes a little bit wide into the grass, if drivers get damage on lap 1, they can come into the pits and fix. And he spun?
He spun. He's P7, Scorpio Ivan 5th, and Gramenos 6th. Gramenos actually tried through the outside after the back straight to attack Scorpio Ivan. He did not succeed, but Sanchez then spun. P7 for him at the moment. Scorpio Ivan missed the first corner, at least the exit, so Gramenos has a run on him. He's trying to defend the switchback from Gramenos there, but not going through.
Evidently, it was a very quick recovery to only drop down to P7. So good showing from Sanchez, as Ivan now up into 5th. Good showing from him. Back up toward the front. Super S2K already 1.5 behind Larson and 2 seconds ahead of his teammate Ryan. It is Supa once again charging after Ryan for that final spot on the podium, immediately picking up where he left off last time out in Austria.
He is on softs, the only one in the top 9. So Mike Grove is here on the softs as well in P10.
So most of our drivers looking to go long then.
Crocodile Blip in the pits. He has a damage, a front wing, so it will be 30 seconds wait for him.
No, so because that was lap 2, or also because it's a front wing, just a normal pit standard procedure for him. Of course, as you alluded to, damage ruling in our series here, just to be more accurate to real life. If you damage any corner of your suspension or a rear wing, it is a 30 seconds per item wait in the pit lane before you can start fixing damage.
Gramenos went wide there. If you have that on replay,
we will see if we can catch that, hopefully. Yeah, he was battling Ivan on the outside. I don't know if that was perhaps a little bit of lag, but good recovery to hold on to that and not pick up any damage. But yeah, he was trying to round the outside of Ivan, coming down into that very fast turn 5 corner, sweeping 90-degree right-hander. And Roach has been disconnected again, unfortunately. I hate to see that for him. Another new rule that was added within the last couple of rounds, of course, we have new disconnect procedures where if a certain amount of drivers from the lobby get disconnected, the race is scrapped and will be rerun either I don't know if it's the same day or at a later date. Either way, Gramenos already caught back up to the back of Ivan, perhaps looking to make a move again.
CTRK as well left the lobby. It might be that he had some issues as well with the connection.
CTRK, is that was Sanchez. That was Sanchez.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 down already. I believe the magic number we're looking for a restart is 5. Ryberg, good result for him, currently running in 7th place. Good showing from him as Michael looks up the inside at the hairpin. Still going to be side by side on exit here as he looks to try to reclaim that spot. Using up a lot of the overtake here on exit as he'll send it back up the inside again. Going to leave just enough space for Ryberg on exit, and he will clear coming down onto the back straightaway. Defending hard to the inside and will hold on to the spot. So Michael back up to 7th now. As we look further up the field, Ryan now slowly starting to pull away from Supa, I think. And then the battle continuing between Ivan and Gramenos here for P5.
Yeah, Supa just now needs to make these tires last, because he is on softs, very heavy on the fuel, and he's going to burn them quicker.
Should be very interesting for him indeed. Already burned through probably about a good third of that left front. Obviously, a clockwise turning circuit. You're going to put a lot more effort through that left front tire here as he makes his way now into the forest section off of that turn 5 corner. Through 6 and 7.
Yeah, Gramenos burned a little bit more tire than Scorpio even. It's very hard for him or for his front left to cope with these right turns all the time behind Scorpio even. So
absolutely,
that's a challenge for him.
Not to mention all the dirty air that's coming off the back of these cars. And as they continue to battle, it looks like Michael's also starting to close in on this battle as well. So we'll keep an eye out for that as well.
Michael burned as well a quarter of his overtake.
which would explain, or potentially explain, a lot of the pace he's showing immediately. Gramanos now closing back up onto the gearbox of Ivan. Only 3/10. Ivan a little bit wide, a little bit of a squiggle coming out of turn 3. So they make their way through this very long turn 4 left-hander. Out onto the back straightaway. Gramanos with overtake active. Fake to the inside. Going to look around the outside again. Will they make contact like last time? Doesn't look like it. Gramanos with 2 tires off into the grass as he makes the pass. But gets up into 5th place. Makes the pass happen. A fantastic overtake around the outside at turn 5. What a move.
Yeah, and kudos to Ivan as well for not basically pushing him off. So
well, I mean, I doubt he would have intended to do so the first time.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, nice move really by Gramanos. This is about 3rd time that he tried it, and finally he succeeds.
As they always say, 3rd time lucky. And now Ivan, unfortunately, despite the fact he'll want to look out beyond the halo of his car, he's going to have to keep an eye on the mirrors. Michael is closing fast, already cut about a second in from the last time I mentioned it. Under a second now to Ivan.
I'm not sure, do you see this, but Super S2K has a huge challenge with his tires.
Oh, and he picks up a time penalty.
Yeah, compared to
oh my goodness, yeah, his tire wear is horrible.
This is going to be a huge challenge for him towards the end of the stint.
That could be worrying for both the Super. No, it's not even it's not even an AMS problem. That's just Super S2K burning through the tire.
Yeah. So Chang is really in a great position. If he can hold on like within these 5-6 seconds where he is right now, could be that he takes this P2 at the end.
Certainly would be beneficial for him in the championship fight. Super S2K with another half-second penalty. He's pushing so hard right now to try to keep up with Adaptive.
Yeah.
Of course, Adaptive showed this kind of dominating pace last time out in Austria. Just an unfortunate miscalculation with when he needed to come into the pits ended up costing him. But even still, with the extra pit stop that he made, he caught right back up to the back of Super S2K. As just unfortunately ran out of overtake a bit too early and wasn't able to break through the dirty air to get around him. But man, could we see Adaptive finally get that elusive win that's been haunting him for these opening 3 rounds? He has shown the pace to win, absolutely, but could be a great day for him, especially with the pace he's been showing.
Super S2K is pushing very hard now. He's
already halfway through that tire.
Supa as well. He is on soft though, but Supa is already very close to the pit. Could pit in the next lap or 2.
Well, it's good to see here. He's gone through, we'll say, probably about 3/4 of that front tire now. So if that's about maybe 12 or so laps you can eke out of the softs on heavy fuel. Lighter fuel, you might get 13, 14.
Yeah, I think this track is punishing really this soft tire, and the fact that he chose to run this tire full is really not making him a favor. I believe that the top guys like Adaptive and Chang, they're really good on tires today. They could even run 15 empty.
Well, absolutely. All good information for you folks back home. Obviously, or I don't know about Felix. I don't know what tire wear is going to look like as this race progresses. So each stint that goes by is just a little bit more information to both ourselves and probably the drivers too, as they continue through this grueling, what frankly is an endurance race at this point. 76 laps around a track as mentally challenging as this. just making sure that these guys keep it on the road, keep it out of the barriers. And then, of course, you could probably already see on the mini-map, it's not going to be too much longer until we start seeing lap traffic here.
Yeah, another 20 seconds, or about 6-7 laps, and we could already see first drivers being lapped. Quackadelly Blip and Method actually running really close to each other. Both of them on mediums.
Quackadelly, I believe, closing the gap, looking to get 10th place back.
He did have to pit, so he's
of course
on a charge right now.
If he did pit, I'd be a little bit concerned about his tire wear, because it's actually worse than Method ahead of him.
He didn't change the tires, so he just
okay.
fixed
So
the
that's a lot
front,
better then.
Front wing, yeah. That was lap 3, so 110 there for him. So he lost about 5-6 seconds there.
Just taking a quick snack break here, as we have a little bit of a lull in on-track activity.
Michael is really close to Scorpio even. Scorpio,
yeah, he's been about 1 second back from...
Supa pits.
Yep, Supa's into the pits. Like I was saying, Michael's been hanging about a second back from Ivan ever since we saw Gramenos make that overtake on him. I think Dirty Air now is starting to hinder Michael from making any more noticeable progress up toward the front.
And Scorpio even has slightly better tires than Gramenos and Michael.
Of course. It also looks like Ivan might have had a little bit of an error a couple laps ago on lap 11, 106.0 compared to his 105.4 and 105.6 either side of it. I should also mention for the folks watching who have been with us for the past for the previous rounds of the championship, Ivan, of course, in that new purple and yellow livery. That was a community-designed livery for the Scorpio eSport team. There was a what's the wording? There was a design challenge, we're going to call it, to see who could create the best livery to be voted on by the Scorpio eSport and I believe also some of the Scorpio Motorsport folks. So it was that ended up being the winning design. And at some point in the future, that livery will be adapted onto a real-life race car for one of the Scorpio Next drivers to go and compete IRL in. So that should be very exciting to see out on track in the real world. So I'll see if I can find the announcement for it and congratulate the gentleman who made it. Where is...
While you're on that, I can share that Super S2K is really struggling on tires at the moment. So about 20% of the tire left.
Yeah,
Chuck has incredible tires, front left. Not the pace really, he's losing all the time compared to Super S2K, 9 seconds at the moment. And Adaptive Inc. 5 or 6 seconds in front of Super S2K.
Adaptive into the pits already. Wow, that a little bit surprising, I'll be honest, given the tire wear he has. Super S2K stays out. That is very surprising. A short pit stop, though, obviously a very short pit lane, so not too much time lost. I believe. How much of a second lead did he have coming in? I believe I missed that.
6.
He had a 6-second lead and came out 4 behind, so wow, only 11 seconds in the pit lane. That's very impressive.
Seconds,
and just to circle back to that livery competition, Yes, it was the Scorpio Next Gen livery competition. Glad I got that corrected. Connor from the Volt Graphic Group, congratulations on winning that design competition. An absolutely beautiful livery, and very happy to see it out on track. And can't wait to see it on circuit in real life eventually. So, once again, congratulations. Great livery. Why, I'm seeing in the chat, why did Adaptive come into the pits already? I can't answer that, in all honesty. Once again, makes an early pit stop, unless he's planning on doing an extra stop compared to the rest of these guys.
So he went on another set of mediums. So he is going to do an extra pit stop, which he believes it's good for him because, yeah, he's in a good position.
I mean, certainly with how short a pit lane it is. I guess if he just wants to... I forget what year it was, but there was a... It would have been Michael Schumacher during the French Grand Prix back in the early 2000s. I believe ended up doing, I think on the day it was a 5-stop strategy. It just basically ran qualifying laps the entire time. Which, of course, might work out here given how short the pit lane is. There's not a lot of time loss. And with the pace we're seeing out of Adaptive as Super S2K comes into the pits, he might be able to pull it off. Another fastest lap of the race, 1:03.9. So a little over 2 seconds off of his qualifying time, but of course, heavy fuel and, of course, running the medium tire. Yeah, that's pretty damn fast.
Yeah, and we see now that Super SDK responded with the same tactics. So he just followed Larsen in. Chunk stayed out, of course, so did Gramenos.
I mean, you say he followed him in. I think he probably had to go to another set of mediums here, just burning through that left front tire. It'll be interesting to see how long he's able to hold on to this set. And already over 7.5 seconds behind Larsen up front. So Ryan leading those who are still yet to pit. Gramenos running 4th at the moment. Of course, still yet to pit. Ivan still in 5th. Michael 6th. Supa in 7th. Has pit. So he is making his way back up through the pack. Hopefully Dirty Air won't cost him too much time behind Michael. Rybird running 8th, not also yet to make a pit stop. Same can be... Quackadilly, I believe you said, did make a pit stop, but it was only for a front wing change. Currently running 9th. Method running 10th. And Mike, Grove Street, running 11th, rounding out our grid. He has just come out of the pits.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed... I didn't have a chance to mention it, but Rybird is actually on a low setting of ABS. So his ABS is like yellow if you see it, usually it's like white. So he is able to lock up on this formula, so it won't be easy for him to preserve the tires. Even though with it, he's still better than Quackadelli on the tires.
Well, whatever these drivers are most comfortable with. Of course, I believe they have free reign as to what ABS setting they choose to run. So, good on him if he's able to run a lighter ABS setting. Yeah, Roach, actually, if you want to share your pit strategy, that would be great for us, so we have something to compare it to. I say, seeing people mention it in the stream chat.
So we saw first people coming in at what, lap 15?
Yep, as it looks like we've got blue flags 15. Out. Adaptive has begun to lap cars. 21 laps in now as he comes up to the line. Already onto the back of Mike Grove Street. And he's going to get out of the way pretty quickly. So a little bit of slipstream down at the turn 1, and Mike will get out of the way very respectfully. So good on him. No time lost. Well, a little bit of time lost, I guess. About 4/10 down on this lap, but shouldn't hurt him too much. And now he'll come up to the back of one of our reserve drivers making their first start today. Michael into the pits from 7th. Of course, as a reminder, no refueling in this series. So only tire changes happening for these drivers out on track. Michael exits still in 7th and about 2 seconds ahead of Rybird in 8th.
Yeah, Michael now has clean track in front of him. 9 seconds to Supa. That will come handy now when he needs to start improving his lap times. 105 in the previous laps. If he wants to overtake Scorpio, he will need to improve.
Of course, you can actually see pretty easily just how much dirty air really affects these drivers, because Supa was still behind Michael, or no, was he behind Michael, or did he make the overtake happen on track? Can't say I saw that happen. Gramenos into the pits, by the way.
Scorpio even as well pitting?
Yes, he is. And Supa out of the pits, and just about a second behind Gramenos up in front. So should be an interesting battle shaping up between these two.
Ooh, Michael and Ivan 7/10 off. Michael overtook Ivan through the pits.
The undercut strategy works for Michael, able to jump Ivan in the pits. And now he is up into 6th place after having sat behind Ivan for probably about, or nearly 15 laps, I would imagine. As we look back toward the front, Super S2K making an overtake on Quackadilly, who's under blue flags. Ran a little bit wide at turn 1, cost him a little over a second, so we'll see what the stewards have to say about that, because I believe the blue flag rule is if you cost a lead lap driver over a second, you are subject to time penalty.
So the thing was that Quackadilly Blip was exiting the pit lane, and he just caught him up at the bad moment.
In an opportune time. So not necessarily his fault then, so my apologies then for the slight accusal. As Grove Street looks to be catching up to the back of... who is this on track? That is Method. Method, who is letting Super S2K through, actually let Mike through in the process. So good on him to let Mike let Super S2K through. Excuse me. Just unfortunately, he's letting everyone through.
Yeah, Method just let through both Quackadilly Blip and Grove Street. Not sure why or what happened.
I guess because he doesn't. I mean, he's on the same lap as that. My only thinking is that it's because he's a reserve driver and doesn't want to affect the guys who have been competing week in and week out in this series.
Could be that, because he can't be 2.5 seconds slower with these tires, even though the tires are worn. Those are not.
No, it looked like he just pulled over.
Yeah.
Very strange. And it won't be too long before Ryan starts catching him as well.
Yeah, Michael pulling 2-point-some seconds away from Scorpio Ivan. Supa 2.4 seconds behind Gramenos. Supa going very wide there, but manages to stay on track at the end. Chunk still not in the pits. Oof. This car is
big snap of oversteer on exit there. Well, we're closing in on a third of the way through this race. As Ryan jumps onto the overtake button a little bit down the back straightaway. I would imagine he'll be into the pits fairly soon, given the state of his tires.
He's trying to pull away from Graminos, not to stay behind him, but the pit length is only about 10-11 seconds, so he's safe.
He should be
5 seconds in front.
Yes, should have the pit stop gap. Of course, Graminos did already make his pit stop a few laps ago, actually.
No, he's staying out.
I wonder if this is a case of he's trying to two-stop here.
Could be that he's only trying to go on one set of hards and then final stint on the softs.
Oh, I was more so referring to maybe he tries to go to roundabout lap 30 on these mediums, get onto another set of mediums, and then finish off on the softs, get to the end.
So hards are not mandatory.
No, hards are not mandatory.
Could be, 30, 16. Could be doable.
Especially with the tire wear he's been showing in comparison to everyone else. It should be a potential strategy, although given the fact that he is now a pit stop gap behind Super S2K, probably not going to be able to gain him any positions out in front. So Ryan's race is currently all in his mirrors.
Yeah, Graminos is doing 104s, so that's the reason that Chang is burning his overtake just to stay in front of that magical 11 seconds.
I believe a safe gap is... If he wants to stay ahead with a safe gap, he probably needs to come in now, but of course, that's not really going to be able to, or he's really going to be stretching, if not next stint, his final stint on the softs.
But if he's on a two-stopper, is he really racing Graminos, or is he just racing himself and the tires? You know, maybe he doesn't even need to worry on Graminos. .5, like, if he pits one lap later than right now, he will end up behind. Which he will.
Yeah. Although, of course, I would imagine he and Graminos both need to pit the same number of times still, so...
Yeah.
Further up in front of...
Graminos will pit one more time. One time more than Chang.
As it looks like Grove Street's picked up a half-second penalty somewhere for track limits. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure where some of these guys are getting track limit penalties. There's not really many places to cut that actually gains them lap time. Well, this kink might be one if they cut too much of the inside curb.
Could be as well out of Druids or turn 1.
Oh, potentially. Oh, or the exit of 3, I've just realized. Because you can realistically get very wide out of 3.
It's easy to get a penalty there, true.
Ryan now makes his way through the final corner, catching up to the back of Quackadilly now. He will...
Lifting.
Apex of turn 6, so yeah, it is that high-speed kink then. Okay. Thank you, Roach, for that bit of insight. So Ryan now closing in on 9th place to lap. Rybird, we saw a few laps ago, made his first pit stop and is now out on another set of mediums. Or wait, no, sorry, this is Ivan. I clicked the wrong button. But yes, it is still another set of mediums.
A lot of drivers will pit in the next 3 or 4 laps. At least those who entered the pits around lap 15, like Larson, like Super S2K. Chang didn't, but he has to pit anyways.
Now this is interesting. Adaptive certainly looks like he's pushing a lot more than he did his first stint, and in doing so, now has a little more comparable tire wear to what Super S2K is running. Although he has now pulled a full pit stop gap to Super S2K.
Yeah, but he as well pitted 2 laps earlier, or 1 lap earlier, and his tires are
still better. Yeah.
Interesting setup then by Super S2K. He's burning everything in those tires.
Oh, I'm sure. Last time out at Austria probably gave him a bit of a wake-up call. You know, he the 4 or 5 rounds prior, he went pretty much uncontested for the win. As Nico, who had been his main protagonist in those races, really was just a bunch of mistakes where he was unable to really keep up with Super S2K. And now, as we are officially past the halfway point of the season, Ryan into the pits for the first time, by the way, and yeah, end of lap 30 has finally come into the pits. So, like I said, that should be a fairly rudimentary 2-stop for the AMS driver. As Adaptive will come into the pits on this lap as well.
Yes.
I would imagine this will be another set of mediums.
Yeah. It'll be 4 sets of mediums and 1 soft.
And does. And we'll exit the pits. Just about 3.5 seconds ahead of Super S2K, who I would imagine will be coming into the pits in a lap or 2. Both of these drivers 26 seconds ahead of Gramenos, and continuing to pull away now. Ryan about 6 seconds in arrears from the podium place position, but of course having just made his first pit stop. So we would imagine he'll get that spot back with relative ease. Supa will probably need to come into the pits in a few laps time as well. Probably lap 35 to 40, somewhere in that window, I would imagine, for Supa. Michael will be going probably to about lap 50 or so. Same can be said for Ivan, running in 7th. Rybird going to be looking to go quite a ways on these tires again. Grove still running in 9th, now with no lap cars behind. Wait, no, I apologize. Gramenos is coming up to the back of these two now. So still a bit of a battle going on for the final 2 spots in the top 10. And then Method is now 16 seconds off of that battle, having just made a pit stop onto the softs. So he is now good to go to the end. But he is also 2 minutes off the lead.
Yeah, we see now that Chang started to lap 104.2, Gramenos 104.7. Gramenos will have to do 1 pit stop more than Chang, so if he wants to stay P3, he needs to pull about 11 seconds at one point, currently 5 seconds in front of Chang.
So that's kind of the gap then that he needs to grab. If he's got to get to 12 seconds, he's got to find about 7 or so at the moment.
Yeah.
Because he needs, over the course of the race, a pit stop gap to make up for the extra stop.
He won't do it now, but once Chang starts to burn his tires, like it will be less than 50% of tire left, then Gramenos will be fast on fresh set of tires.
And of course, now that he's clear of the lap traffic, Ryan will have to go through these two once again as well. So that could cost him a little bit of lap time if he catches them at an inopportune time.
103.4 for adapting for laps.
That's absolutely crazy. And it was on the previous lap as well. Comes through the final corner now to see if he's able to grab another one. No, 3/10
but
down.
it's close. Yeah.
Oh, I say 3/10 down. Only 3/10 down as Super S2K comes in for his third stop of the day. Is this his second?
Second.
Second stop. Third stint of the day, I should say.
Yeah.
Exits the pits. That is the lap car of Rybird, who stayed wide going through turn 1. Not getting in the leader's way. I must say, I've been fairly impressed by our two substitute drivers who have come up from the light series to fill in for a bunch of our drivers, showing. I can't say they're showing the most outstanding pace, although because that's mostly due to the fact that Larson just seems to be on another planet for pace at the moment, but they have shown very impeccable racecraft around the other drivers. So very big props to them for running such a clean event already.
Yeah, and it's not easy, to stay focused, look at the track in front of you, and then actually realize that you have a car behind you, move away, you lose that focus, you lose that, pace that you had.
And especially on a track like this, where it's just so narrow, there's no... Typically, you might see some of these guys running completely off the circuit just to get out of the way, just really just give as wide a berth as possible to the lead lap cars. These guys, they've been really thrown to the fire here for a first running in this upper tier series. So again, huge congratulations to them for how they've been able to run so far.
We will as well have a fight now for P5, maybe, if Supa doesn't pit. 1.4 seconds, the difference between Michael and Supa.
I would imagine that's probably enough of a tire advantage for Michael to potentially make an overtake on track. We haven't seen one of those for position in a few laps.
Yeah.
Just briefly looking away for a moment, if I can find where the... Oh, no, it looked like on the minimap someone was around Super S2K, but evidently not. And it might have been a lap car. So if we can... Okay, there we go. Back on board with the battle here, as Michael chases down Supa under a second now, just about. Michael running quite wide on the exit of 3 there. Doesn't pick up the time penalty, but he did get the tires dirty, so that's why we saw the understeer there. Dirty air not helping as well. But he is slowly closing in on Supa. And I'm just noticing a little bit of cloud cover starting to come over, so... I don't count out rain just yet. Blue skies off in that direction. But that's also the direction where the wind is going. So if we do see rain coming, it would be hitting the forest section of the circuit first, which could be quite dangerous for these drivers if they're not careful.
Now under 6 tenths.
Of course, with the wind direction, it also means it's a very pretty straight. It's big gusty, given the wind speed. It looks like.
It is, yep.
Yeah, and it's very definitive tailwind down into turn 1, so not making it easy for these drivers. Of course, it also means a very strong headwind coming into turn 4, so a bit of a later braking point for that corner. So we'll keep an eye on that, as it actually looks like wind speed is slowly picking up here as well. just about 0.6 of a second still between 5th and 6th place here. Michael continuing to try to close in. Is he able to manage the dirty air? No, he's going to lose a little bit of time through turn 1, but he's going to close right up under the brakes. Nearly got to the gearbox of Supa through the hairpin. Now with a good exit out of 3, will he look up the inside into turn 4 here? He's going to take a peek, gets up onto the curb. Little bit of argy-bargy, and they're going to be side by side coming down this back straightaway here. Heading toward turn 5, Supa is going to continue to try to hold it in. Side by side, a little bit of contact again. Supa might have forced him off wide. Michael's going to have to settle back in again. Dirty tires, and that will drop him over a second back now.
Yeah,
on-track action finally for position.
It was very opportunistic there by Michael to go and try
and it was a very desperate there. That read as a very desperate dive into turn 4 there.
And then Supa went all in on the overtake button. He will say, yeah, I was there, it was my corner. But
which in all fairness, I mean, they were side by side still going into turn 5, so he had the right to be there. Michael's attempt at the overtake in 4, though, I think you could read as a bit more of a dive bomb with how late of a move it was. Unfortunately, camera coverage not quite working out to our favor there. So it kind of hid what happens, but now 2 seconds back. Michael's got some work to do. Although Supa's going to be coming into the pits here pretty much any moment. Oh my goodness, those tires do not look good. And Michael's now actually lost position to Method here. Method overtook him on track. Although I would imagine that's just due to tire wear at this point in time. I believe Method was on the softs. Michael's gone wide.
Yeah. Ivan is very close.
Ivan is closing in very quickly now. So what was a battle for 5th has now become a battle for... No, Ivan's coming into the pit. Why are you coming into the pits? What? You still got half your tires left. Why are you? Supa is also in. And immediately back out. Ivan exits onto the softs. So he won't be going to the end, but expect some very quick laps from him now. With a little bit of clean air.
Yeah, he will want to do 15 laps on softs, and then another 20 at the end on mediums. And that's it, that's his race done there. We'll see. I mean, this will give him track position compared to Michael, I suppose. And then when he pits...
so boxer overtake then.
Yeah. But then Michael will be on softs at the end, so yeah, we'll see.
Well, he's running the softs now, so as long as he can make the undercut work, I would imagine Ivan's going to be in a pretty good spot to make the overtake happen.
Larson is now lapping Michael. So Michael will lose a little bit of time there.
Probably not too much, though. He was able to just hold the inside lane coming down the front straightaway. Might have been a minor lift, but certainly wouldn't have been too much as if he just waited on the outside of turn 1, like some of the other drivers have done.
Scorpio just 8 seconds behind Michael.
So already within the pit stop window, where he's making great time on those softs. In fact, he's making such great time, he might be able to catch up to Michael on track before Michael comes into the pits. Speaking of pitting, Gramenos into the pits. And comes out also onto the softs. Now 50 seconds behind the lead. Well, you folks back home wouldn't have been able to hear the driver's briefing, but
Michael pits.
It was meant. Never mind on the Ivan catching him before then. Yes. It was mentioned in the driver's briefing. There was a high likelihood that only the top 3 might finish on the lead lap here. So we'll keep an eye on that for all you folks I mean, there's no betting on this series, but I would imagine if Vegas had any odds on that, 3 would be a very good over-under for how many cars are on the lead lap. Or 3.5 would be the number, but...
Yeah, I'm trusting that James can put us on Vegas, so... there should be... Oh, super crashes!
Oh, no!
Super crashes!
Where is he? 6th. Oh, goodness.
If you have that on replay, please.
I'm gonna hope I got that on replay. I think I did. He was overtaking Mike into turn 5. Where did he lose it? Oh, he just got too much of the apex curb. Coming through turn 6, lost the back end, and it shot him out hard into the outside wall. That's going to be a minute wait on top of the front wing change.
Graminos,
what a shame.
sector.
He was in such a good position, too.
Yeah. Graminos, purple sector, 6/10 of chunk. Track battle, he's on softs. Should be an
He's
easy
on
jump.
softs. He's on the back of Ryan here. That's for position.
Yeah.
What can Graminos do here?
Oh, poor Super.
Of course, I think this might actually be for position on track with how pitch strategy is working out. You know what we say? Graminos needed to find 7 seconds. He's found them. Could Graminos find himself on the podium here today? 3/10 back. Great exit coming into turn 4 here. Does he look up the inside? No, he's going to be a bit more calculated than Michael was with that move, but he's going to be all over the overtake. Looks to the outside here of Ryan. Coming down to turn 5. We've seen a lot of action here today. Sends it round the outside. Just no hope with that tire advantage for Ryan to try to hang on to that.
He
got off a little bit into the grass, but what a move by Graminos.
And this is now for position because both Graminos and Chang need to pit only one more time. I suppose Chang will hold it until lap 60, as we were discussing this earlier, while Graminos is now
probably the end
run.
of 61, I would imagine he'll want to come in, give or take.
Yeah, and Graminos will now have another 13, 14 on the softs, so he will pull slightly from Chang, slightly. If that's 10 seconds, then he's comfortably in P3. But then Chang will be on the softs and Graminos on the mediums for the final stint. So yeah, it's not over yet.
Yeah, Chung still has another 15 laps to go on these mediums if he wants his two-stop strategy to work. The question is, can he stay close enough that when he goes onto the softs at the end, can he catch back up to Graminos and potentially make the overtake happen?
Well, we see that Graminos is about 2 seconds a lap faster. So, yeah, 7 laps.
Oh, Ryan's gone wide. Ran it off into the gravel. A very easy corner to run wide at. That is turns 7, 8. I believe that's turn 8. It's just a series of high-speed kinks, 6, 7, and 8. They're all separate, though, and they're all taken at different speeds. But it's just, there's so many of them back to back to back. And it's, with a track as narrow as this, it's just so difficult for these drivers. Especially in a car with as much downforce and grip as this, it's very tricky. There's a reason why you don't typically see cars, like anything faster than maybe a GT3, go around here in real life.
And that's already too much for this type of circuit at this age.
Yeah, as big and chunky as those are. Miatas would go good here. Of course, the Radical Series also a great car for this track. Yeah, Ryan is second down on this lap on his personal best. To give you a quick update on, I guess, the alien out in front, 17.5-second lead for Larson.
Poor Larson, we didn't even mention him like 3 times in this race.
I know, he's just such is the pace. Dude, if you want TV time,
he pits.
You want some TV time? Make it close at least.
He's listening to us.
Oh my goodness.
So he does his moves when we are watching him, so...
He's been consistently doing about 15, 16 laps on his mediums. Comes out of the pits again, still holds on to the lead from Super S2K, who's still got 2 cars between him and... or 2 lap cars, excuse me, between him and Larson. Larson's into turn 3 now. Super S2K is only coming through the hairpin.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.5, 8 second lead. Yeah, I mean, he just pit and he's already almost got another pit stop gap. And he's already lapped Ivan for 5th. So top 4 now, the only cars on the lead lap. At this point, the only updates we need to give to Larson here are how many cars are left on the lead lap. Such is the pace advantage that he seems to have. It's absolutely insane. As Super S2K, I've just seen, runs it off into the gravel. Michael will sit in behind, being a lap down. He's not going to challenge him. Michael, actually, is he catching up to Ivan?
He is.
He's on the harder tire, but he's also just made a pit stop in the past couple of laps.
I mean, Ivan is doing 104, 105. Michael is doing 106, 105.
Oh, wait, that's not Ivan. My apologies, folks. I'm looking at the wrong car.
Mike is in front of you.
Yes, that was Mike that was in front of. My apologies, folks. I'm looking at the. I saw the back end of Grove Street's car, and I just, for whatever reason, assumed as he goes wide into the grass, I just assumed that it was Ivan for whatever reason. So my apologies, folks. Incorrect calling. Ivan's got just over 7-second lead back to Michael. Super S2K into the pits.
S2K in the pits, yeah.
And he will go to another set of mediums. Yes. Exits the pits now. Now 20 seconds behind Larson.
That's huge. That's the biggest gap that we had so far.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest margin of victory we've had so far this season, I believe, was 25 seconds, which was Super S2K over the field at Nürburgring, I think. Adaptive looks like he's gonna get more than that on a track with a shorter lap time, which is just insane to me. Ryan into the pits, out onto the softs, so he will now look to make ground up on Gramenos here. So pitting onto the softs. Oh, well, okay, well, I guess there goes the two-stop idea.
Yep.
Out of the pits on lap 50, so that's what, 25 to go? 26
Yes.
or so? Yeah, so you know, it might be 2 sets of softs here to the end for him.
Yeah. But then
You know,
that
might be doable.
30 laps on mediums.
That might be doable for him to get to the end on softs here.
It might
Not get to the end on this one set, but to make up the time to Gramenos here. He's 18 seconds back. Both still need to pit one more time. That might be a gap that he's able to make up. Michael is catching. He's now just over 6 back from Ivan. Rybird, one of the substitute drivers, currently out on his own. He's got 30 seconds out front and behind him. So he's just looking to...
just overtook Chunk.
Yes, he has. Well, there it is, folks. Only the top 3 left on the lead lap now. And both of them have made a pit stop very recently, so... Actually, wait a minute. Did he just make the overtake? Like, on track? Or was that out of the pits? Larson on Ryan.
I don't know, but Ryan made a mistake, which we didn't see, and he's 6 seconds behind on his fastest lap, so definitely not good for him. So Graminus is 24.5 seconds away.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay, so that's why.
So much harder.
Okay, so he did exit the pits ahead of Larson, but because of that mistake, has now dropped behind him. Okay, that makes more sense now. As I was going to say, even with the pace advantage, I wouldn't have expected Larson to make the overtake on Ryan on mediums. As Ivan now into the pits, if I can find the right button, there it is. Comes out of the pits and will immediately have blue flags to, that is Super S2K behind him.
Yeah, he will need to stay out now for 23 laps, 24 laps on mediums. That will not be easy.
Not easy, but if he's able to get similar tire wear to what we've seen out of
Graminus as well.
Graminus is in as well. I think they should be able to get to the end from here. 23 laps. We saw Ryan do 30 on his tires. They should be able to get to the end here, I would think.
Yeah.
So now, with Graminus having made his stop, so Ryan is now a pit stop behind Graminus in terms of time gap. So he has that to make up, plus the fact that he has to pit again. I think he needs about a second a lap if he wants any chance at passing Graminus. So we'll check back in the lap's time. If that time gap is under 10.8, we'll say he's on pace to potentially get back on the podium again. Larson now almost 2 pit stops ahead of Super S2K at 23.5 seconds. This dude is just insane. Grove currently leads a small group of 3 cars battling for 8th. This is Mike Grove leading, Quackadilly 9th, and then Supa making his recovery, although he's going to need to come into the pits in a moment here. Currently running in 10th.
It's actually possible that Chang unlaps himself compared to Larson, so they're very close. He's at the fastest lap of the race, 103.2.
And you know how I said a lap ago, if he's under 10.8, gap is 10.9.
Yeah.
So he's got the second to lap pace that he needs. The question is, can he keep it up and not make the mistakes and get back up to Graminus? Of course, he needs to get up to Graminus, pit, recatch him, and make the overtake happen, all within the next now 20 laps.
Yeah, he's about a second a lap faster, but his tires will start to deteriorate, and Graminus will just start to get quicker and quicker, as those mediums will not die so fast as the softs, and he will get lighter and lighter. So
True.
Chad really needs to have a little bit of luck as well here after the mistake.
All true, but of course, once he does make his final stop, it will then be fresh softs versus already very worn mediums to the end here. So the overtake should be the easy part. The hard part will be catching up. Although, if he's already got a second in hand in pace, as Ryberg, no! We caught that just as it happened. Lost the back end, unfortunately, as he was letting Larson through. You know, he jumped to the inside, trying to let him through. And then just ran it wide into the grass. Tried to get out of the way for Chung, and then just spun it. Oh. What a shame. Fortunately, looks to be only front wing damage. And is. So he's out of the pits onto the softs. Those won't go to the end from here unless he babies them, but... Oh, nearly collision with Michael on exit, but held on to it. So he'll look to try to unlap himself from Michael, but he's going to have to let Super S2K through here, I would imagine. Back up front. Adaptive now officially 24 seconds ahead of Super S2K. Ryan still sat behind Adaptive. Frankly, Adaptive might be towing him along, in all honesty. Ryan's just far enough back where I don't think he's really getting dirty air, but he is still getting a slipstream effect. So he can realistically just sit here and use Adaptive to continue pulling him along. He's not gaining a second a lap, though, on Gramenos, though, anymore.
No, yeah. He's gaining basically 2-3 tenths.
Unfortunate. So, this might be the first race where on pace or on strategy...
Super S2K made a mistake.
No.
109.5, so the gap is 30 seconds.
Oh, and a big slide of oversteer on 3 as well. Unfortunately, I think we just missed whatever happened. I would imagine it's just a matter of he ran it wide somewhere. Because there's no damage on the car.
Yeah, 3-way battle, Grove Street, Quackadeli Blip, and Super for P8.
A Super pit? Yeah, he has just pit. And he's already back up to Quackadeli, and oh my goodness, that was fast.
He goes until the end, 20 laps on the mediums now.
Yeah, he pit 5 laps ago and has already re-caught these two for P9 and P8. Very impressive out of Supa. Again, just on a recovery drive, and frankly should have been running in the top 5, but an unfortunate snap of oversteer through the forest section means he's going to have to try to get as far up the top 10 as he can. That was Mike into the pits. What should potentially be his last stop of the day. Out onto the saw. Maybe not.
No.
Might be a bit of a distance to get to the end, although I don't think he's run the softs yet, so he kind of had to make that stop.
No, you know what? The leaders are on lap 61, so technically, even though he's on lap...
Oh, that's a fair point.
So he'll do a couple of laps less.
He's not got as far to go as the leaders, so yeah.
He's 3 minutes behind, so basically he's doing only 15 laps.
I just want to keep an eye out on our water on track-o-meter, we're going to call it. It looks like there's a bit of a cloud cover coming over turn 5. I don't know if perhaps you might be able to check the main menu radar.
I'm checking it, but there's nothing on the radar, radar at the moment, so I'd say...
So just fog.
No.
Or a very low-lying cloud. Yeah, I mean, look off at turn 3 and turn 5, and there's a lot of fog rolling over the circuit here.
Enough sun for English summer, so back to the usual weather.
Could be interesting, though, if we get a random pop-up shower. Just out of the blue here. Might throw a bit of a wrench into the works for some of these drivers. Roach is claiming that this is one of the circuits in GT7 that doesn't have a wet weather option.
Oh, yeah. This tells me how much I'm...
My apologies. I also think that's a bit... I also find that a bit strange that of all the places to not have rain, you're choosing one of the circuits in the UK. But I digress.
Yeah, we don't agree with this.
Yeah.
We protest this.
Looking around the grid at the moment, Michael, currently running P5, has just been lapped by Super S2K.
Yeah, Chunk pitted for medium, so his quest is over there. 21
He
seconds,
did go on to
22
medium,
seconds
yeah.
behind, yeah.
That will do it for him. And 21 back from Gramenos. Yeah, he's not making up that gap. Pretty well situated in 4th place, given the time gaps.
Yeah, and Gramenos really deserved this one.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Driving,
He's run a fantastic race so far today.
yeah.
And a well-needed result from him, because I don't think he's had... I have to check the results. I don't think he's had a finish inside the top 5 yet this season, so...
Yeah, the thing is, he had some races, some parts
Oh, well,
of the
absolutely.
races,
He's
very
had
good.
the pace to do it.
But then something happens, and then he loses it, and so on. I guess it's just to the practice. As he's Greek, maybe he does not have so much time as other drivers to practice, as it's summer season in tourism and whatnot. You know, the same problem we have here in Croatia. So, yeah, really good and motivating for him.
Evidently, this track suiting his driving style, as he makes his way through 26 seconds out in front of him to Super S2K, and 23 now back to Ryan in 4th. So he seems pretty well sorted for the final step on the podium, as long as he can keep it on the race stuff. Super S2K, like I said, he's 26 clear of Gramenos and 33 and a half back from Larson in the lead. For the man who has dominated this series, especially as of late, going 5 for 6 in the last 6 races, yeah. Again, Adaptive probably should have won the race last time out. Just an unfortunate pit miscalculation cost him. But my goodness, man, this is the shortest lap on the calendar, and you've got a 34 second lead over the field. What is this pace?
Yet he took it on a completely different level, but as well there's something messed up with Super S2K's setup. He's burning way too much tire, so well, I think that's where he lost the race.
How many laps later did Super S2K pit from Adaptive last time?
The difference is always about 2-3 laps.
No,
so it was 1 in the first pit stop, then 2 in the second pit stop, then 3 in the third pit stop.
So 3 laps tire advantage for Super S2K, and yet they are currently running basically dead even tire wear. Yellow flag is out. 1 car around. Who is that? Oh no, Gramenos! Gramenos went for a spin out of turn 1. I'm going to hope... Yes, we did catch it. He just lost the back end coming into turn 1. Oh my goodness, how did he not hit a wall? Did very good to get that turned around without hitting anyone. Oh my goodness.
Lucky Gramenos.
So lucky. Although I will say... 12 seconds the gap. If Gramenos needs to pit, I don't think he will. He should be able to get to the end from here.
11 laps, yeah, he's safe.
Oh, hang on. I don't think that was dirty air. If you want to go take a look over at the mini-map, the wind has picked up quite a lot going through. It is a crosswind on the entry to 1. Adaptive's into the pits, as is Gramenos. Ryan's going to get 3rd here. Gramenos, I would imagine, is now going to pit onto the softs, and does. Can he come out ahead of Ryan? This is going to be so close on exit. Okay, he should have him. And does. 1.5 the gap. He had just enough time to stay ahead of Ryan. Adaptive also came into the... He's onto the softs. And he still has a 36-second lead. Or, wait, no, Ryan, sorry, correction, he... What? Okay. 27-second lead. Having now made a pit stop, I think he wants fastest lap of the race. There was no reason for him to pit there. He's made a pit stop again and will now probably go to the end. 9 laps to go here. He's going to the end on the softs. Still has about 30%, or wait, yes, he's still got about 30% of his overtake left. He's going to go for a fastest lap here. So keep your eyes out for a 101 here, folks. We'll watch him. Yeah, he's already putting in some of his best times. Why don't we ride on board with him as he goes for this fastest lap? Oh, yeah. Wide apex at turn 4. Actually, not a purple sector here. Going from turn 3 to turn 4.
Sorry, it was Graminus purple sector in first sector, but then lost it in the second. So, but still pulling away from Chang. I guess Graminus just didn't feel safe. Still again purple sector.
Michael into the pits as well, onto the softs. Adaptive was flat out through turn 5, by the way. What? I mean, we watched his onboard lap, and if you folks haven't seen it, go check out the end of qualifying last time out. Stream is still up on the Scorpio eSports YouTube page where you're watching the current stream right now. We go watch Adaptive's final lap of qualifying. His commitment to go almost flat out through the final 2 corners at the Red Bull Ring was just magical to watch. Graminos currently holds the fastest lap of the race at a 102.6. Super S2K into the pits as well. Larson is now getting dirty air off of Mike. Oh my goodness, this is just insane to watch. He's still up on his previous lap despite the dirty air. We are watching an absolute crazy... He's putting in qualifying laps right now. He's got almost a 45-second lead. Sets the fastest lap with dirty air. He lost like a second behind Mike.
Super S2K now wants fastest lap. He had a free pit stop.
I don't think he's not going to get it. He's only half a second. He finds another half a second. He's gone quicker than anyone did in qualifying.
Yeah.
He's almost out of overtake, though, unfortunately, on the laps where he encountered lap traffic to do it.
Yeah, Super S2K still has half of overtake. Graminus did 102.6, Adaptive Inc. or Larson did 102.5.
Yeah, Larson was a 10th down, but he's now coming through the section where he would have lost all that time. So we'll see just how much he's up after these next couple of corners. Yeah, he's found it right back. As he comes through the final corner here, we're just watching qualifying at this point. Comes through the final corner, charges up to the line, and no, he's just out of overtake, unfortunately. That stinks. Unfortunately, not going to be able to find any more then, because he doesn't have the overtake button to use. But oh my goodness, it just... We're going to ride on board with him again, because turn 5 is just incredible to watch. I mean, what? He's flat out from here, I think, through the corner. Watch the throttle input, bottom of the screen. Does he lift? Never. It's so easy flat out. He's not even using all of the track. I've never seen anyone be able to carry this amount of speed. How much downforce does he have on the car, and how is it not hurting his straight line at all?
Yeah, we have a potential battle for P5. Ivan is in front of Michael. This is what we told before, when Ivan was on softs and Michael on mediums. Now it's the other way around. and he's gaining a lot on him, like a second a lap. Like last lap was 1.5 seconds faster. So 1.6 seconds away, Scorpio even from Michael.
I just want to watch Ivan through here. Is he flat out through this corner? Okay, he is, and on medium, so okay. My apologies then for overselling the fact that turn 5 is apparently flat out, but oh my goodness, what Larson is able to do with that superformula car is just insane. Yet turn 6 is barely a lift for him. It's like a dab of brakes, half throttle, and it goes in.
Michael is within the slipstream range.
Ivan's almost 2 minutes behind Adaptive here. How big is the gap for the lead? It's a 45-second lead.
Almost a lap, yeah. 15 seconds.
He's got 15 seconds before he laps Super S2K.
Yeah. Impressive, really.
Ramanos is a lap down.
Okay,
it's only the top 2 on the lead lap.
Yeah. Even his half of overtake, Michael has only quarter.
I don't think it's going to matter with the tire advantage Michael has. The question is, can he be patient enough with this move here?
Yeah.
8/10 down on his personal best, but, of course, that's in the dirty air of Ivan in front. He really likes putting 2 tires off into the gravel on the exit of the final corner as well. So now that he's well and truly into the dirty air, we'll see how much he's able to catch Ivy. He's very good through the hairpin. That seems to be Michael's really good corner, is that going through Druids. He looks up the inside again! Contact made! Runs Ivan wide again. It's just turn 4 really isn't an overtaking opportunity in these cars, but that doesn't seem to bother Michael. He's now through up into 5th. I'm sure Ivan will be having a word with the stewarding team after that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. That's now the second time this race that we've seen even that Michael's attempted that move. I mean, dude, he has the tire advantage. I don't quite understand why he doesn't just wait and set up the run out of 4 down into 5, but whatever. So Michael now runs 5th, but again, we'll see what the stewards have to say after the race.
Yeah, I mean, in every other sim, both cars will be out with this move, and in real life. So.
Rybird, just quickly giving him a quick shout out here, still running 7th and a minute behind Ivan, but running in 7th place on your first outing in the series, a very impressive result. So well done to him.
Yeah. Larson is on second to last lap, so he will.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, he is.
Final lap in about 15 seconds from now.
I don't know about you, but this race seems to have flown by. Although, I would imagine part of that is just due to the sheer pace that we've seen out of this number 16 machine.
But
crosses the line now for what will be his final lap of the race, and all he's got to do is just keep it on the gray stuff. It's been truly dominant. I know we've seen dominant performances earlier in the season from Super S2K and from Nico, but this is on a whole nother level. I can't overstate this enough. The previous largest gap of margin of victory we've had so far this season was 20 seconds. And that was in a race where there was rain, there was a whole bunch of shenanigans where people dropped off, made mistakes, and Adaptive has come through, more than doubled that margin of victory, and on a track where there has not been an ounce of rain. He rounds the final corner to cap off what has been an astonishing victory. Larson crosses the line, captures the goose egg, and will win it here at Brands Hatch.
Gramenos ends P3.
An absolutely astonishing drive. Gramenos crosses the line P3, the first car 1 lap down. Super S2K still has half a lap to go, by the way. Ryan will cross the line now to finish 4th. Michael, again, still has half a lap to go. So, next car to cross the line to finish the race will be Super S2K, who rounds the final corner now to come home a respectful second, it must be said, but just this field has been absolutely schooled. I can't say that enough. Larson, take a bow, because that performance was truly and utterly dominant in every sense of the word.
Michael P5, Scorpio, and only
1.3 back.
Away. 1.3, yeah. So if the stewards, we'll see what the stewards will say about that one.
If it wasn't for the contact, I would say that is still a very impressive result for Michael. He's been needing a good run. Finally got it, but obviously through potentially controversial circumstances, but a decent result for him either way. Hopefully the stewards don't completely strip it away from him. That will do it for the on-track action, but we will get post-race interviews coming in just a few moments, so don't go anywhere just yet, folks. We will have Gramenos, Super S2K, and Larson joining us in the booth in just a few moments. No, I gotta find the right button for this.
Yeah, I'll be leaving, so...
Thank you once again, Felix, for joining me in the booth. Always a pleasure.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks.
All right, folks. They should be making their way into the party now. We will have post-race interviews coming in just a few moments. And whoever's got the stream going in the background, if you could just mute that so that way we don't have echo, that'd be great.
This guy's got some rocket boosters on him. I think we need to do a post-race inspection.
All right. I'm going to assume that, or actually, you know what? Gramenos, you're the only one we've not had a post-race interview for yet, so just give me 1 second to pull up the stream on my own end. And then... Okay. Gramenos, can you just say something into the mic so we can check you?
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, and he finished 3rd on the frickin' podium. Dang.
Yep, perfect. We've got everyone. All right. Post-race interviews here from round 10 of the Scorpio Superformula Series at Brands Hatch. We will get started with our P3 finisher, Gramenos. Great result. First time on the podium all season, so congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Very well done drive, must be said. Who's got the stuff going on in the background? If you could just mute. Yeah. Either way, very impressive drive. Hard-fought battle it looked like between you and Ryan. Tell us about your pitch strategy, because that seemed to be what won it out for you in the end.
So, first of all, I did not even expect to be here, but it's great to actually finally be in the podium with these legends up here. The pit strategy, I basically didn't even do one lap before the race. I just joined quali, so I got the strategy from my friend June and a few tips from S2K, so thanks to them. But I changed it up during the race. I didn't have a great start, didn't have a great quali, and I noticed that Ryan is going for a long stint, so I decided to do an extra pit. I thought that I had the pace today, so I think on the last 5-6 laps of his long stint, he was losing a lot of time. So I decided to basically undercut him with the softs towards the middle end part of the race, and then I think he did a few mistakes because I saw him like drop a lot of time. I also had a mistake. My turn one, the car just like flew off the track. I don't know what happened, but like I luckily had enough of a gap to like recover, because that would have been a shame. But yeah, that was it really. It was down to pits, because you can't overtake here easily, for sure. This track was tough with the dirty air.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly, you did. Evidently, you did have the pace to make that extra pit stop work, and we did also see the spin at turn one. I must say, very well held to not hit the wall or anything. Of course, being as wide as turn one is, probably one of the safer spots to have a spin. Would you say it could have been potentially just a gust of wind? It looked like wind speed was getting up to about 19 feet per second there.
It could have been a combination of the wind, which I wasn't looking at, and the fact that I was approaching, I think, Ferrum on a blue flag. Like, he wasn't in, like, blocking me or anything, but I was getting quite close to that dirty air, so I just snapped on me. It was like someone kicked the car from the back end, so it was strange. And then I decided to pit again and put the softs on, because I already got lapped by the legend here. My goal was to keep on the lead lap, and then everything went away.
Well, a great result either way. Congratulations once again on the P3 and a first piece of hardware on the season. Hopefully we'll see you back on the podium again. It's been an absolute pleasure, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to our second place finisher, Super S2K. Another good result for you. We talked about at the beginning, at the early parts of the stream, with the drop rounds. You currently, coming into this race, you had a 1.16 repeating average finish with the drop rounds added onto your total. Another second place finish, so I believe it's now going up to about 1.8 or so. But still a fantastic run throughout the season. Highly consistent as well. Unfortunately, just didn't seem to have the pace, and it looked like tire wear was a bit of an issue. Do you care to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I was just happy I didn't get lapped, to be honest. But overall, I mean, I didn't get enough track time. I didn't have enough practice. I didn't know fully like what the tire strategy would look like. I didn't really have my setup fully made. Earlier, before the race started, you know, I was toying around along with my teammate. We were toying around with the car, seeing what kind of pace we would extract. And I'm happy I did some of those adjustments, because beforehand I was really off of adaptive times. But, you know, on a one-lap pace I got better. But, again, like after all that, the setup was kind of lacking, because in the long run and even in the short run when I come on fresh tires, the thing was undrivable. I mean, the front end was so sharp and the rear end was just so light. Like over some corners, I was just, you know, about to die in every corner. Happy I didn't pick up any damage in a certain spin because of lap traffic. I mean, overall, in my opinion, it was kind of a race to forget, even though the result wasn't that good. You know, I could have done a lot of things better, but again, really big props to Adaptive. You know, he drove every lap like it was qualifying, and he didn't make a single mistake. So that's something I got to work up to next time. So congrats to him.
All right. Well, congratulations on the P2 once again. Yet another race on the podium. So still great haul of points to bring into the championship total. And with Nico, of course, having missed today's round, he falls further away out of the championship. And so, of course, with drop rounds, he's still, I believe he was still listed P2 in the standings, but I think Ryan is now officially going to be P2, both with and without the drop rounds. So Once again, congratulations on the result and what should now be an AMS 1-2 in the driver's standings.
Thank you.
And now finally, moving on to our race winner. I suppose I should be calling you Schumacher after that performance. That was probably the most dominant race I've ever had to call in my life. Just sheer pace out the wazoo. Larson, why don't you tell us about it? Because evidently, the sheer pace you showed us through today, and then the way you were able to take some of those corners, turn 6 especially, was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be that fast, to be honest. But I put some practice and tinkered with the setup where I liked it. And yeah, even the strategy was flawless, to be honest, from the start to finish. I had some moments where I almost lost it, but fortunately not, because it's very hard in this track to be perfect. But yeah, it was. I didn't expect to be, that fast, actually.
Well, it was an incredible result either way. Certainly looked to be completely flawless from our end. We hardly noticed any mistakes or off-puttings over the course of your driving. But again, a fantastic result. Great first win on the season. First win in 3 starts now. So can we expect you to have some more performances like that through the rest of the season?
Yeah, for sure. I will continue racing.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, thank you very much, all three of you, for hopping in post-race. Folks at home, be sure to tune in next week for the final of our triple header rounds coming up. It will be as our drivers take on, the Goodwood circuit for what is actually the longest lap count on the calendar. 79 laps ahead of us at what could potentially be one of the most challenging tracks on the circuit. A wide, flat, a bunch of unsighted corners. Should be very interesting indeed. I've been Scorpio Blade. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you next week again at the same time. Goodbye.